Buckle in, I'm about to tell you how I doubled my PR in less than a season. You can see from the two screenshots, here I am at the end of last season on 210 PR, and here I am 1 week of tournaments before the end of this season with 406 PR. Therefore, if I do well this week, I'm more than likely going to be 430 plus 450. And this is how I did it. I'm not planning on wasting your time. I want you guys to all double your PR as well. And if you want to, let me know how much PR you're on in the comments section, and you can come back to this video in 3 to 6 months and have a look what you were before compared to what you're at now. So the first big tip I have for you for exceeding your PR expectations is making sure that you play every event. If you're missing events like duo cash cups, if you only play 3 of the 4 duo cash cups, and you play 3 of the 4 trio cash cups, and you play 3 of the 4 solo cash cups, you're missing out on like 3 events for PR. And PR is all about consistency. You want to make sure you're getting as much PR as possible and giving yourself as many chances to get PR as possible. So making sure you're doing every single event is super important, because if you dud one, you then only got 2 duo cash cups to get PR, 2 trio cash cups to get PR, and 2 solos. And this is half of what you started with, and you are gonna dud some tournaments. Some tournaments are not gonna be good. You're not gonna have good placements every single time. You're gonna have bad ones. I've had quite a couple this season, but the good ones do outweigh them. And to give yourself the best possible chances of the good ones, you've got to make sure you do enough tournaments. Do every single one. Just trust the process, become a grinder. Something that's really helped with me this season, especially in team game modes, is making sure I double down on the role I want to play. Now, in previous seasons, before last season, I was a fragger because I wasn't that smart at the game. I was pretty poor at the game all round. I was a bad fragger, and also I had no game sense. But that will change when I picked up these solo superstars, which you can find in the link in the description. No glaze, this thing has taken my game sense to a whole new level, getting coaching from some of the best coaches in the world, like Destiny Jesus, Sven, analysts like ReeseHub, and even Peterbot's coach Razaru. Just a couple months on the course, and especially in team game modes, I have gone through the roof in terms of game sense. And last season, I decided to make a switch to an IGL. And you might be wondering, if I made the switch to an IGL last season, then how come I didn't double my PR last season? Well, in truth, I did. I went from 100 PR to 200 PR last season, and this season I went from 200 to 400 plus. One mistake I made last season though was making a mistake of not IGLing all events. Whenever I played with someone with more PR than me or a lot better than me, I just let them IGL, which is bad because to become a good IGL, you need to have practice in the IGLing space. You need to have practice, you need to have games where you're IGLing good players and they can tell you what you did wrong. This season, however, I have fully locked in on IGLing. I've IGL'd everything I've done, even trio scrims who have other IGLs in a trio, I've been IGLing. And I'm not talking wishy-washy IGLing, like co-IGLing, I've been hard IGLing, making sure that at least 90% of the calls are my calls, making sure we're getting to zone because of me. And this has really helped because when we die, I then have to look back in replays to see how we died, and I learned, and I'm like, we're not doing that again. And you learn to look at patterns. Endgame is literally a game of patterns. If you see a rotate, then you need to go for it. If you see a rotate that you've done before that you know you're going to die on, you learn to recognize the scenarios where that is the case and you can't do certain rotates in certain places, and you get a lot better in that regard. Anyways, whether you're a fragger or an IGL, just make sure you lock in on that decision. You want to lock in, don't be wishy-washy, IGLing one time, fragging another time, just full lock in, and trust me, you'll get a lot better at the game. One thing I want to talk about is the importance of having good teammates. I'll link a video in the description of where you can find good teammates and a video on how to get good teammates. But I found most of my good teammates on Discord. My current duo partner, Skrig, is very good at the game, and he is a perfect fragger for me. He follows all the rotates super well, and he's super good at fragging and solo clutching when he needs to. Another point about teammates is you need to make sure even after bad events, you don't instantly drop the towel and split up, you know. Having bad events is very possible with a new-ish duo partner. Even with a experienced duo, you can have a bad event. We have ranged from top 9,000, top 10,000 plus to top 600 this season. So it is a big range and it can definitely change between. Because one day one of you might be playing great and the other one might be playing bad. One day you might get super unlucky with cheaters and pros, and another day you could just have a bad tournament, bad end games, making lots of mistakes from both sides. And another day you could play perfectly, everything's absolutely perfect, but you don't get into that last game. There are so many things that can make or break a good tournament. That is why the pros are just so consistent, and that is why they are pros, because they don't let any of that phase them. They're that good that they can still pull off a good placement even with those things happening. But we're not pros, so you need to make sure you're sticking with your teammate, because over time you're going to build so much chemistry with them, and getting this PR will seem like a piece of cake. Especially with them running this many duo reload cups, duo squad cups, squad reload cups, and duo cash cups. There's so many tournaments every week, even trio cash cups. If you're getting 15 PR from each of them, you're getting like 60 PR a week. Super, super good. It's not just about roles and teammates though, you want to make sure you are improving. I have been improving so much this season. Honestly, in terms of what I've been grinding so hard. I installed Kovacs at the start of this season, and I've been working, I'd say, Kovacs at least 3 times a week since I got it. And these have been 2-hour sessions. Sometimes I've even been doing it daily. I try to do Kovacs every day when I hop on for the warm-up. That doesn't always happen, because sometimes you get home like 30 minutes before a tournament and you have to cut down on the warm-up. But always do a great warm-up, and Kovacs is definitely something you need to look into if you play keyboard and mouse. It's super cheap and it is very good. People find aim training boring. You can aim train in game as well, and people finding it boring is actually what makes it so overpowered. Nobody aim trains, so if you're aim training, you're instantly putting yourself ahead of the curve, ahead of every single other player, meaning you want it more, meaning you're going to improve more. I've also been running 1v1s every day against players that are better than me. It doesn't matter how many you do. I've probably been averaging about 20 1v1s a day, maybe 20 plus to be honest, 20 to 50. And a lot of them have been against better players than me. If you want to find players to 1v1, go on Noble Practice or any scrim server. They're going to have looking for players, and you can easily just search 1 versus 1, and then you'll be able to find someone to fight. If you're beating everyone it knows, then you need to find some better players on Twitter or some better players just on Discord. Just create like a looking for post for players over a certain PR, and you can 1v1 them. Getting those reps in against players that are better will honestly capitalize on your mistakes and makes you so much better overall. I want you to remember, please do not 1v1, keep 1v1ing players that are worse than you at Fortnite. It can build some really poor habits when you start to edit doing poor edits, not right hand peaks. When you start to build in a certain way that's not protected, a good player will punish you for all of that, but a bad player will not punish you, and you can keep doing it to your heart's content. So make sure you always 1v1 players that are as good or competent at the game. Remember guys, one of the best things for me was Solo Superstars, so if you want to get that, go check out in the description. It does help out my channel if you do so, and I will be on all the calls that you attend while you're on Solo Superstars. YouTube likes it when you watch more than one video on my channel, so check out these on the screen right now, and I will have to see you in the next one. I hope this video has been enjoyable, and I once again want to remind you to comment your PR down below so you can share it back in later. Have a good day.